everyone is coming at you with another video.
What's up, everybody, man? Let's welcome my special guest. It's been a while, but he's always been a friend of the show. Let's welcome TarrerDome, man, my Niner brother from another mother, man. What's going on, man?
Sup, CG? How you doing today, man? How's everything going?
It's doing so well, man. Them schedules are pretty busy, man, but I made the time, man. I got you.
This is your time, man. This is like this is your Christmas season. You get them on and get them off, man, and you do a wonderful job, CG. I'm checking you out. You know, I know the deal.
Yeah, I sure do, man. When it comes down to it, man, it's like the draft season is kind of like my Christmas gift, like you said. But yeah, but especially going into the off season, man. I know it's been quiet, man, but how you feel about it, man?
It's quiet, but it's always something going. There is no off season with the San Francisco 49ers. It's turnover, it's intrigue, it's coaches leaving, trying to get the coaches that we want, players that can't stay. Some the money is funny. Some we the free agency. Now we're right in the thick of the draft. We're in the stretch, and this is a very, very important draft, man. This is big. This is real big.
Yeah, I mean, as far as our special teams, man, it was part of the worst. There could have been games where we should have won those games, but now that we kind of addressed it, we went pretty deep into special teams more than expected, you know?
What's wrong, babe? You need the bag? The mouse pad. Oh. Yeah, the wife just walked in looking for a mouse pad. Man. You know how the in studio goes there, CG. What were you saying? What was your question?
Well, as far as like our special teams, everybody kept saying it was like one of the weakest spots, and we could have maybe made the playoffs if it would have came down to special teams, man.
Our special teams was horrible. Let's just be real. Let's keep it a buck. I don't know if it was just the emphasis of us not particularly caring. I think it's always a confluence of things. I think it was Kyle's look at how special teams are. As long as we don't get killed, we're okay. But I think it is the byproduct of a couple of years where we just didn't draft well. Coming off that Trey Lance draft where we mortgaged so much, we didn't get the depth and the thickness and the speed that we needed to sustain certain positions. And when that happens, the byproduct is you don't have backup linebackers, backup safeties, backup guys who really play special teams well, and it tells a tale. It tells a big tale. And obviously, we had to get rid of a special teams coach. That was the second one in as many years. I think we had Snyder last time, and before that, it was somebody else that we really didn't care for too much, man. But special teams.
You're talking about Hightower, right? Richard Hightower.
Hightower, yeah.
I mean, it was pretty bad even from there, but Yeah, there was a couple of games where it could have went in our favor, but a lot of that just hurt us. Even in the Super Bowl, you had a couple bad
Big
special
time.
teams where it could have won us the game, like the muff, then the
muff.
extra point miss. Maybe it was on. It couldn't be on Moody, but he could have made it maybe. But
All of that counts. All
yeah,
of it counts. It's all I never look at one win and people have snap judgments, and sometimes they just look at things, oh, it's his fault. Oh, he's the reason. Oh, it's always a it's always a pie. It's always a pie. It's like 10, 10, 10, 15, 20, 20, 25% pieces of a pie. And that counts. When you came up just a point short, we have to look at the special teams fumble with Luter and Ray McLeod, and then we have to look at the missed opportunity that we had. It was a score, and we just needed that extra point. And when you come up a point short, you start counting up things that, man, it could have went the other way here. It could have went the other way there. Our defense started out playing lights out. We messed up on that punt and give them a short field, and you can't give Patrick Mahomes or any dangerous quarterback,
yeah,
or
you can't give them too many chances.
you can't give them a short field and say, here you go. You can't ask that of your defense. It's going to stress them, and this is what we got.
Yeah, this is what we got from that year, and it's been going on for a while. So I think getting the guy from the Jets, Brent Boyer, he kind of emphasizes it more important than most special teams coach would. I mean, we mostly sign a lot of guys with more special teams, but now you look at our defense. Everybody keeps wondering, oh, why are we not addressing the defensive line? Like, I feel like the draft has the deepest class when it comes down to the defensive line.
It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. This is the year to be looking for defensive linemen, edges, and there are I think there are just some incredible nuggets in there on tight end. If there's any year I can look with a bunch of optimism and have some key sleepers out there, because the draft is so deep, there's some sleepers that people aren't necessarily talking about, and I don't want to put too many feelers in the air, but I see guys that are going to go in the 4th, 5th, and 6th round that are going to be instrumental, and they're going to be professional football players playing on Sunday. I do.
Yeah, it's pretty deep this year. I think you can find yourself a pretty damn good edge player, maybe day 3 for sure, because there's some guys from small school that don't get enough recognition, but the more you watch their film, the more you're kind of amazed by these guys and all that stuff. And I've been doing a lot of my homework on this deep class, so I know it's not a big school, but this kid's been catching my attention since that Senior Bowl and that performance. So nobody's took him the chance to get to know him yet, but now they're starting to talk about him a little bit. So I'm going with the guy David Walker, man. This guy he's just, dude, like, I don't know how this guy's under, like, dude, like,
is that the Central Arkansas guy?
Yeah. I got him on the show like months ago, but this guy has a motor. I don't care how big he is, bro. He's a small dude, but he plays bigger than his size.
Yeah. I've had him. I do my mock drafts. I start like instantly after the season's over, and I look at the bowl season. I'm looking at college ball players. I know you're an Oklahoma guy, right?
Yeah.
I'm all about the U. And we pay attention to college football because, one, we love our teams, and two, we're always kind of looking for the next big thing. And both franchises or both schools are pretty storied in their, what they've given the NFL. The U definitely, and Oklahoma, man. Look at Trent Williams.
Yeah, he came from that program, but I mean, you look at some of the guys from this class coming out of Oklahoma this year is Billy Bowman, who I think is really a good football player. The linebacker, Denny Stutzman. Stutzman could be a starting caliber linebacker.
I had to hit my bell on that Billy Bowman. I've been checking him out. Him and the other safety in Texas, Makuba. I
Makuba,
like him
yeah, he's
too.
another one.
But if I couldn't get Makuba, it'd be Bowman.
Yeah,
And that's a definite need for us. The free safety. We've been missing that a little bit, CG. We've been missing that for a minute.
Yeah, absolutely, man. But it's not like I mean, you look at the rest of the guys coming out of Miami this year, they're pretty deep too when it comes to talent. Like your boy Cam Ward's gonna be like the top of the pick, man.
He should be going number one, man. He changed it. You know how you have a drought at your school for a long time, and then finally this guy comes in and gives you the shot in the arm, and you're now relevant. We had a couple of losses at Georgia Tech, and you know it got off the rails a little bit, man. But we were running those victories, and Cam Ward was a great illustration of why we were, and he was the main catalyst for the shot in the arm that we needed. We got some defenders over there, a good defensive lineman, and a tight end, Arroyo.
Oh, that dude, he kind of reminds me more of Jordan Reed a little bit, just the way.
Yeah, exactly. A playmaker, man. He's good. Restrepo, he everything. He was like Julian Edelman. Every time Cam needed to get bailed out, we went to Restrepo. And there's another kid, Samuel Brown. He plays receiver. He's gonna go in later in the rounds. They're not thinking about him too much, but he can get down and play, man. It's some nuggets at the U.
Yeah. Watching Estrepo, I don't really care about his 4.8 speed. I just know that he can play football. He can just catch. Like, I think it's misleading by the way he runs. Like, if you check out his 10-yard split, it's actually pretty good.
He can get it. I know he had this terrible foot. I think it was at 4.84, or some people
must
saying
have been a little bit of an injury or something, if I'm being honest.
He said his hamstring was bothering him, but he thought he could power through it and just, it was to use pro day, and he just wanted to get. He didn't want to not show. So I don't know, but I mean, he always got open.
Yeah, he's going to be good regardless. And plus, I call him the Cuban Julian Edelman, man.
That's a great illustration. That's a great little moniker right there. That's how he is.
Yeah, some people kind of think he's white, but he's not. He's actually Cuban.
He's got the record of all the great receivers we had at the University of Miami. He's got the record for the receptions and I think touchdowns or something. He broke something.
Most receptions and touchdowns. I think he's broken the entire record as far as a receiver, but the fact that he actually had a terrible pro day is fine because we can get him day 3 and we can get him as like our guy that could probably eventually be the one that takes over a spot. We'll see.
There it is. Sometimes it does you a favor to fall. You fall sometimes to a good team.
Yeah.
It's right there. The top picks are obviously gonna go to the top franchises in terms of where they are selected in the draft. And if you're selected that high, it's not because you're great. It's because you kind of suck, probably.
Yeah.
At least you did.
Either you suck or you had a little off year.
Yeah, you had a bad off year with injuries or something like that. That's the reason why you drafted so high. So you kind of want to fall to 20s, 20, 32, something like that, because that would just man, you come into a ready-made franchise ready to go. Question TarrerDome.
Yeah.
Who is your draft man crush in this draft, regardless of which round prospects that you are pounding the table for? I think the best player is obviously, for me, Travis Hunter is my dude. I would watch the Colorado games and in high school for 2 of my 4 years playing. I went both ways, pause. And for that man to do it at that level, at those positions, was just absolutely incredible. This guy is a bona fide star. He's just a ball player. Some guys, man, just have it from birth, and he's got it. for him to be under Deion Sanders as a defensive back and going to the other side and be a wide receiver. He's got a knowledge about the game that just fits as a DB. It's kind of Richard Sherman-esque. You know how it is to be that receiver. You know how it is to be that DB. You're looking at it from from two separate lenses at one time, and then added to that, the kid's just explosive as an athlete and can just do stuff that other people you can't even teach him to do.
They can't.
So he's probably my bona fide he's gonna get it guy. My sleepers are Makuba, safety, University of Texas. I think he's gonna be the second coming of Earl Thomas.
Ooh, that's bold right there.
I like there's one at Arizona State University, a tight end nobody's talking about, named Jalen Conyers. Jalen Conyers is
actually Texas Tech. You're talking about the
Texas Tech. Yeah, Texas Tech. He was
from Arizona State.
He was Arizona State, and then he went to Texas Tech, which people are gonna miss because these are those NIL kids who go from one school to another, and people kind of lose them. But this kid can play fullback. He can play tight end. He runs. He's 6'4", 250, 260 pounds. And he just makes plays, and he runs like George Kittle when he gets the ball. They have him projected 5th round, and that is perfect. We can pick that up real easy. And I'd say my last one, mainly those two, man. I see something different in those kids. I like Jonah Savania too.
Oh, that offensive lineman that's from Arizona, right?
University of Arizona. Yeah, he's got a nastiness about him. He blocks through the whistle. He's got the pedigree that you're looking for in terms of it's in his family. I think his younger or older brother play as well, and he's just he moves. You can tell kind of how a offensive lineman moves. They call it big paws on a pup. And he's just got big paws on a pup. I like what I see there.
Yeah. Those are good ones that you put up to. Like Travis Hunter is a generational talent from the looks of it. I mean, when you're talking about other guys like your sleepers, man, they're definitely eye-popping when it comes to a guy that I like. But if I had a draft crush, I'm pretty big on Mason Taylor. I don't know. I think we'll probably not get him. But I just think that he would be a nice complimentary to George Kittle. I mean, he has an NFL pedigree, but it's just when you watch that guy's film, I think he's going to be better at the next level. I mean, LSU seems to produce some pretty good players, but I just think Mason Taylor just has that it factor.
And the pedigree, the Hall of Famer. Something's got to happen,
Yeah, and then when it comes to somebody that I like, somebody off the radar since I've been watching, is I got to say David Walker just seems to be that disruptive guy. Yeah. He just has that knack to just create havoc. And he told me that the nickname that they call him on the football field was the Terminator.
That's a good nickname.
Yeah. Yeah, because he definitely disrupts a lot of stuff. But I mean, there's another guy I like also. If I had to go deep into the sleeper, I don't know. Ty Robinson just seems to be somebody I like. The more I watch his film, the more I like the kid from Nebraska. He just kind of,
you know what? I brought this guy up last mock draft I had, but does Ty Robinson give you and 49er fans don't throw tomatoes at the screen just yet, but remember Justin Smith, the Cowboy? Ooh. His infectiousness, how he just knows about his business. He's always disrupting. He rallies the team. He's got his own persona. I was, as I was looking at his tape, I was like, man, this guy reminds me of the Cowboy. He's acting just like the Cowboy out there.
Yeah. I mean, he kind of seems like the modern day of what you look at Justin Smith. But I think the more I'm watching his tape, I think of Braden Fisk.
That was my dude. That was my sleeper pick last year. I watched him in the Florida State game. And this is what I think this will happen with Ole Miss players this year. Last year, it was Florida State guys. I watched them in the ACC championship, and I watched the ACC a lot. They had a lot of good ball players. The main one was Brandon Fisk.
And then him and Jared Verse together.
We picked up one. We got Ronaldo Green, and
Ronaldo Green was a good one.
And the reason they didn't go far into the playoffs was because they kind of got snubbed. Their quarterback got hurt, and they didn't get invited to the until the playoffs. So it seems like everybody just forgot about Florida State that year, but they had a really good team. They ran off about 11 wins. And Ole Miss is going to be like this year.
Well,
let's look for a lot of Ole Miss guys to go.
Oh yeah, especially Walter Nolan is another guy I'm hearing about. And
there it is.
The one that nobody talks about the most is Jared Ivey. I like him better.
I like him too. And they got a good receiver, I think.
Trey Harris.
It's a receiver and a cornerback. It's a receiver and a cornerback. It
Trey
might
Amos.
Be. Yes.
He's a DB. He's a DB from Ole Miss, and then there's a receiver called Trey Harris.
Trey Harris, yeah. Ole Miss's name is going to be called a lot in the next 21 days. I think we got. It's going to be on the 24th. It's the 3rd. Listen for Ole Miss guys.
Yeah, it's like if you draft their defense, it's pretty good, especially the linebacker. I'm a big fan of that linebacker, Chris Paul Jr., man. That man.
There go another one. I'm telling you, CG,
plays, man.
We're going to hear Ole Miss so many times.
I would be pounding the table for Chris Paul Jr. if I'm being honest. If he's in the 3rd round, take him.
Yeah. Especially
that would be one guy I would be cool with. I'll pound the table for him because I watch his film. I like his tape.
And we do need a linebacker with the departure of the great Dre Greenlaw. We're looking
at the D Winters taking. We're hoping D Winters pans out, but I feel like if given more opportunities, man, he could have been good.
I think D can do it, man, but he's just been hurt. He's sometimes that injury bug gets on you, and especially at San Francisco, once a guy starts getting hurt early, it seems like he always hurt. He always hurt. And that goes back to the Jalen Hurd thing. I think Jalen Hurd was going to be the baller that we wanted him to be, but he always stayed hurt. And McKinnon, and the injury bug gets him. And I'm worried about Winters. I hope he bounced back. I hope he has a really, really good 2nd or 3rd year, man. But I'm worried about those injuries, CG.
Yeah, injury bugs is no joke when it comes down to it. I guess when Miami used to be so damn talented, they used to get players left and right, man. They were like the thing. But now you look at it, it's more like the Georgia players are becoming that thing.
Oh, yeah. It's cyclical, and it's Georgia's time. You see it led to Philadelphia for 2 years. It's always grabbing Georgia guys. And
like 5 years ago, it would be all the Alabama players.
No doubt. And it was supposed to be. You got to go with who's on top. Ohio State, shout out to them. They're going to get players. I'm thinking they had an offensive lineman, JT Tulusimo.
I don't know how you say it, but he's a good ball player, yeah. And Jack Sawyer's another one.
Jack Sawyer's going to be up there.
Talik Williams.
Yes.
And then I think Ty Hamilton's another one.
You got some good ball players coming out of there, man.
And then what's his name? Simon, the linebacker Simon.
I'm a little concerned about Simon. I would go a little somewhere else. I think he's a byproduct of what he had up front. You know what I mean? But I'll keep my eye on it,
Yeah, for sure. So I feel like the offensive line is something we probably need to address later. But how does it feel just to why does the regime keep giving Brendo a freaking pass, man? This guy's been the weakest link.
This dude, man. Brendo, man. I don't know if it's Chris Forrester. he just thinks the world of the kid. Apparently, he doesn't watch the film. It's just embarrassing. And some of the guys were on my show today, and they saw I showed definitive film of him getting jacked and put in the backfield, turning around, looking at Pooney block, seeing Brock get running for his life. And I don't know, CG. I don't know why they just stuck on Brendo. Maybe he's got blackmail pictures or something. I don't know.
Ooh, maybe he kind of just maybe Chris Forrester is one of the relatives. Who knows?
It must be the brother-in-law. They used to say that in let's brother-in-law this thing and just say, make sure I got a job. Well, I'll make sure you got one too. And
yeah, it's just crazy how they keep defending this guy. Like, I've tried to be fair with everybody, but it seems like, oh, he's not that bad of a center. He's okay.
He was 39th at one time, CG, last year. In the middle of the year, it's about week 11. He was 39th amongst 32 NFL teams. Yeah. How do you do that?
Yeah, and you're worse than the backups too.
And are our backups that bad? Are we that sorry? You can get a Muppet in there and do at least 30.
He's gonna be 33. Yeah,
yeah. Just get it up.
He's got at least 2 more years, but I think at that point his age is catching up, and I think the more he gets pushed around, but like Tommy's got some funny words, man. He's like, this is what Tommy does. He says they do
cook off.
And then
I didn't want to go there, Tommy, but but they, there's stuff out there on Chris Forrester. He had a rough time a couple of teams ago. I'm not going to rehash a man's stuff. Maybe he released his demons and he's good now, but he's been on TMZ doing a certain thing, and
he was caught up in TMZ for a long time ago, but now it's like we give this guy a second chance, and he hasn't. I mean, yeah, we may have made the Super Bowl with the offensive line we had, but can we do better? Yes, we could do better, but they just don't want to. They want to stick with the same philosophy. Like, dude, look at the Eagles, look at the Rams, like, look at the way their offensive line is playing.
I say
can we get that kind of offensive line, or get the Minnesota Vikings offensive line too? At least one of those.
I have watched this game for 50 years, and I've seen it time and time again. A top 5 offensive line, it will almost guarantee you a Super Bowl berth and pretty much put that Super Bowl win in your bag. And here's a little stat that I found out. All right, last year, Saquon Barkley, great running back. He ran and he almost broke Eric Dickerson's record. He was like 105 yards short, and he could have done it had he wanted to play that last game. All right. Do you know 1,400 of those 2,000 yards were him running before contact?
Yep.
Because his offensive line opened those holes so much.
They were really, dude, that's the offensive line you were looking for. Like, the way how Philadelphia builds that offensive line, they build bullies off the trenches. They don't build these average nobodies. They build trenches. They build dogs.
That is amazing. 1,400 of his 2,000 yards. 1,400 is a great year for any running back.
Yeah, it is.
And he got 1,400 untouched, and he only had to work for the other 600 getting past contact and stuff like that. That means that offensive line was killer, man. And they got the Lombardi, and they were in the rings. So just saying.
And if we can get something like that, that would be the performance. But they just keep sticking with that philosophy. That's the problem. This philosophy seems outdated a little bit.
It ain't outdated to me. It's never been done before. It's certain principles need to happen. Gravity is a law, not a theory. And you need to have a good offensive line to protect your assets as well as open holes for your running backs. That is a law. This is football. That's just how that works.
Yeah, I mean, outside of Trent, I mean, outside of Dominic Pooney and Trent Williams, like the rest of them are just average, man.
That's all I'm saying. Let's get the best offensive line. If I'm wrong, just come to me and say, "Hey, Hugh, you were wrong. TarrerDome, you didn't know what you were talking about." Get the best offensive line you can get, and let's see where we fall. That's all I ask.
I mean, yeah, offensive line it's just something we got to take very seriously. At least get two guys to at least make a competition with the center position. I mean, can we get that at least? If you're not going to go with the names, then at least go with competition with the center at least. I mean, Hennessy is there for a reason because he's got experience, but maybe you're hoping he can beat him out and actually do what he did with the Falcons a while back.
I was kind of hoping we go after the free agency Dahlman, but I'm pretty sure he was coming out of Atlanta. He signed with somebody else. They snatched him up real quick, and I'm like, really? We didn't go after that? It surprised me out of everybody with you, the impending deal of Brock Purdy. You're about to pay this guy north of $45-50 million, and you don't want to protect that asset.
You got to protect the asset because it's going to cost more money when he gets hurt, man. If you're going to pay Brock the top dollars, give him the best protection that you can ask.
He should have a Brinks truck around him.
We know what he can work with, man. When it comes to wide receivers, we know what he can work with. I mean, we see what he did with Jennings. He made Jennings look like a star out there. I mean, if he can make somebody like Ricky Pearsall look good, then
I said the same thing, CJ. CG, I'm sorry. I said the same thing today. Jawan Jennings was not a household name before Brock Purdy.
Yeah, they're both 7 rounds, but he's never been quite the guy. But he's shown last year he could have given more opportunities. So yeah.
That's the byproduct
if you give him solid receivers, he can be fine. But if you give him better protection, that's even better.
He'll make it happen. This kid, you ain't got to give him much, man. Just give him some people that can catch and sight adjust and run routes. We're good. Jennings has made himself a star by busting his. He truly has. He truly. I love third and
Jason said it's true. Jennings has been busting his ass, and
he
he wasn't handed nothing. He came into the league as a 7-round pick, and like you were talking about, remember how everybody was hyping Jalen Hurd? Well, that's the same exact guy who beat him out in Tennessee for that role too. So
wow, okay,
yeah, because Jalen Hurd was coming as a running back, but then he made that transition from wide receiver. And then even when he was trying to compete for that role, he couldn't beat Jennings, so he had to transfer.
Wow. I didn't know that because he does go to Baylor for his last 2 years, I think, or year.
Yeah, but that was before he transferred because I remember everybody was hyping Hurd a little bit before the injuries, but he couldn't even beat Jennings in Tennessee then, and he couldn't beat him in the pros.
There it is.
I even called it, dude. I even called it straight up right off the bat, dude. Even like when we got him, like during, like, was it 2021?
Yeah.
Like when we drafted him 2020, I called this and everybody thought I was delusional. They said, "Oh, dude, you don't know what you're talking about. Oh, Jalen Hurd when healthy, he's good." Like I said, no, watch Jennings play. He's gonna beat him out.
And he did. And he's got
kept watching how he plays.
He's got a tenaciousness and a toughness about the game, and he understands it. Again, from that prism of a quarterback, he actually threw one. He was on
ability too. Yeah, he can win contested catches. I mean, he may not be the fastest, but when it comes to like making the tough catches, you can count on that guy.
I call him calculated because you can count on him.
Yeah, and he does the dirty work, which most receivers don't like to do.
Exactly. Just a tough kid, man. I like him. I like him with the red hair. He's a little fiery. He'll get him. Yeah. He'll frustrate people so much that they want to fight him.
Yeah, that's the fun part about his game. When he I think most of us enjoy his blocking highlights more than actually his catches because when he pushes people down, he kind of makes a good smile out of it and man, I like pissing them off.
Yeah, he's like the Joker, man. He knows what he's doing. And you need that guy. That's a championship guy. You need that guy on every team.
Yeah, I called it for years, man. Everybody thought I was nuts. But I think he's already elevated himself. I think he's already been proven himself. Like, I think the more guys like him come on this team, this is somebody we want. We want those kind of guys. instead of the Devontae Campbells of the world, we want a lot of those Jawan Jennings on the football field.
You do, and you get them at a better rate in terms of money, and you get the productivity. That's the best of both worlds. That's all you can ask, especially with our new budget tightening uh, uh, protocol we're going with now. We want value and we want productivity. We don't just want, we want good and efficient.
So how should the 49ers approach in the first 3 rounds? Should we go offensive line or defensive line out of this one?
I would go trenches. Trenches. You can go 2 defensive linemen, edge, and defensive interior, and an offensive lineman, or you can go offensive lineman, edge, defensive interior. But it's got to be in the trenches. This is where the games are going to be won or lost, in the trenches. And those first 3 picks need to be coincidental to that.
Yeah, make those 11 picks count, like they say. But I know it seems like Kyle has a thing for running backs, man. So hypothetically, we are going to get one. But give me a sleeper at running back that you feel like that Niners need to take into consideration just by your tape. Just like, okay, that guy should be a Niner.
He is projected to go probably about the 5th or 6th round, but there is a kid in Rutgers. His name is it starts with an M. It's like
Kyle Monago.
Say it again, Kyle
Monago. Or I don't know how you say it, but I know that's what you're talking about. That Rutgers. He's kind of built, he kind of seems like a Ray Rice body type.
Yes, sir. 5'9", going about 209, 210, thick.
There's another one. The guy from
Virginia Tech. That's from down home, Virginia Tech. But Monaco does not fumble the ball. This kid has not fumbled the ball. He holds it high and tight, but still runs it. Very similar to, remember Tiki Barber from the New York Giants, who used to hold that thing high and tight. 4 points of pressure, 4 points of contact as you're running it, which is aesthetically proper in how you're supposed to do it. And this kid will just chug along. Speed, he's got good vision. He knows how to be slow to it and fast through it. That would be my guy in the 6th round, right about 6.
Yeah, that guy's pretty good from Rutgers. But if I had to choose like 2 running backs that I'm cool with, like as far as like I gotta say your boy from Miami, man, Damian Martinez would be like your Punisher. I mean, he kind of is like your Jordan Mason, but more better of a receiving back, actually.
He's good.
Martinez is who I like. The more I watch his tape, the more I'm just really a big fan of his. I think another running back, as much as I cannot stand Texas Longhorns, but Jaden Blue just has that Jaden Blue. He has that Niner fit vibe, bro. That 4.25 speed, that receiving skills, bro. That's something deadly in Kyle Shanahan's offense, especially how we have Garendo.
I didn't take a look at him. I was looking.
Jaden Blue, bro.
Jaden Blue. I'll check him out. That dude,
I mean, see, I'm not big. Like I've always said it pretty clear, man. I'm not a big fan of when it comes to Texas Longhorns and all that. But when I watch players, I can admire talent when I see it from a side.
And that's pretty big of CJ, ladies and gentlemen. CG to say something good about a Texas guy. He's not a Texas guy.
I mean, Jaden Blue, like he's just got that speed. I may go far with the comparison of Jamal Charles. I might go with the Jamal Charles like comparison because of speed, bro. That dude got some speed.
He must. If you're liking a Texas running back, I'm checking him out because
I mean that would be another one. But then the Miami running back is another one I like also. So it's like,
oh yeah, and I have to watch myself a little bit because I'm partial to the U. I don't know if I'm overstepping or I'm letting my my bias go in there. So I saw that they were playing good. It's we got a defensive lineman named Burrow. I saw that he was real good, but I'm like, is it is it me with my unjaded heart, or is it me being, I look for guys like you and John Chapman and some of the other guys to see and tell me and affirm for me. But yeah,
even the
Martinez
kid
is
from
great.
Texas Tech, Brooks, is another good one also.
I like a couple of receivers out of Iowa State. What's that? Noel and the
the
tall
wide
one.
receiver, yeah.
Yeah.
Noel is pretty good. And there's Higgins, that's good.
Yeah, Noel and Higgins. It's a deep draft, and we're gonna get some good stuff. The running back TarrerDome is talking about is Kyle Monangai. Monangai. Yeah, that's it. Monangai. Monanga. Rutgers University. Doesn't fumble the ball. Look up his stat. It hasn't fumbled.
But
The
he's
guy
part
ain't
of
gonna fumble the ball.
system.
And that's what I don't need you coming in here putting the church money on the ground. Run the ball, be productive, get me 4 yards of carry and better if you can, and don't fumble the ball.
Yeah, if you don't fumble the ball, you're going to have more chances playing in this offense with Kyle. So
yeah, because Kyle will sit you down. If you put it on the ground, Kyle will sit you down. That's what you got to know. Yeah, not the church money on the ground. Yeah, they can't put the church money on the ground.
Okay, so I feel like the draft is so deep with so much positions, bro. It's like it's gonna be something we gotta have. So, do you feel like maybe we could trade down, or you think we stay where we're at, or maybe try to move up for Mason Graham or somebody else?
I've done a couple of mock drafts where we've moved down, and it doesn't affect us that much with it being deep at the positions in which we have need. I say we just hold pat and just get that number 11. I think we're in an ideal spot with an ideal year to get something really good and talented and needed for this organization. Particularly the run just gouged us this year, CG. Last year it just looked bad. You're getting ran on. It just looks like, it's like getting punked at the beach. It's like, it looks like Karate Kid when they're running the ball freely and with no respect towards your defensive line. That just hurts. That just hurts. We gotta fix that. And we brought in Robert Saleh back. Sorensen's out because Sorensen just was over his skis. Obviously, he didn't know defense.
Yeah, Sorensen had no clue how to run a defense, dude. He was more of a DB kind of guru, but he didn't really have an understanding of how to run a defense. No. I knew it right off the bat, dude. I even wrote it off. I said, I don't think it's going to work with this guy.
No, man, that was a bad experience, and I think he was reluctant to take. I think he knew. This is above and is. No, you can do it. You'll be all right. We'll give you. Remember, they got the fired Los Angeles Chargers coach to be like the guru or the I don't know. He was like Tommy on Martin. I don't even know what was his job. What did he do? Staley. He do nothing.
Oh, he was like one of those. I think the assistant defensive coordinator or something, where he kind of does the meetings or something like that.
What was he didn't help the defense at all.
He didn't do us no favor.
Yeah. So it was, the writing was on the wall with that. We I think it was a knee-jerk reaction to or exacting revenge on Steve Wilkes, and just scapegoated him after he held Patrick Mahomes to 19 points in the Super Bowl. They just went after him and fired him, but they didn't have a definitive plan, exit strategy, so to speak, to replace him. You just fired him to say, hey, look, we're doing something here. And that never works.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about top 10 receiver for Brandon Ayuk. He still has to return midway of the season. But if he can go back to the same form, maybe. But I wouldn't put him in top 10 right now.
And Brandon was having a little trouble prior to that, man. I don't know if the money or the whole exchange with him negotiating and things went awry. And he started getting his footing a little bit, I'd say. He had a couple of games, but then the injury, man, and that's a severe career-threatening injury. ACL, the MCL, and the meniscus.
You may not play the way you used to be.
Yeah. The odds aren't in his favor, but miracles happen.
I don't know with him. Maybe he can prove otherwise, but
he could be, but
yeah,
you're not going to get it until October at least.
Yeah. But as far as all that, man, like, we're just like hoping that the draft turns out well. But looking from what Kyle said, from the interview, man, like they just said that they didn't really take the draft serious when it came to starters, bro. They should have got any other guy out there, but they said, "Oh, we didn't really take much of the starters or something like that." When you watched that press conference, was it kind of like upsetting or a little bit head scratching? Like, why did you not do that, man?
Well, first of all, he looked. And we're talking about Kyle, right?
Yeah,
he looked like an aging Panamanian dictator. As opposed to, he looked like he had a bender all night, messing with the Tito's or the margaritas or something. And then he came in with his coffee. He's got bags under his eyes and looks like the man has been through war. And for him to just say, yeah, Brendel's good. Brendel's one of the top 10 guys. I'm like, what is he talking about? So maybe it was a little bit of the Henny talking, as that song used to say by Jamie Foxx,
or maybe it was during April Fool's Day, like that. But yeah, I think like the way we kind of said it, I don't think Ayuk's gonna be at the top level, but maybe if he's good enough, we'll see. Steve Wilkes has already got a job with the Jets as we speak, so I don't know about the lawsuit. I think he's been trying to sue.
Oh, he's going to the Jets. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I did hear that. They hired the DC from the Detroit Lions. Yeah. He should do. It's the Jets, man. That organization, that's just a little, we'll see. From my understanding, that the owner was letting his nephew or his sons pick players based on their Madden ratings. So
that was dumb.
Yeah.
Who does that? But
Jets going Jet.
Yeah. Speaking of all this, man, this contract with Brock Purdy, man, like how long do you think this will go, and how much pay do you think he's gonna get?
I think he's gonna get everything he should get, which is probably north of 55 a year, 150 guaranteed. But the 49ers are going to do typical 49er stuff and prolong this thing on out. And it's a shame because we can just, get it over with. He's your guy.
Get it over with.
He's got the record for yards in a year, in a season, 4,280 yards. I know those numbers instinctively because that's Ronnie Lott and Jerry Rice. And in the how long have we been in existence? Since 1946. Think about the great quarterbacks that have come through the San Francisco 49ers, to include Steve Young, to include Joe Montana, to include all of these great guys, Jeff Garcia, you name it, Y.E. Tittle,
John
Brody. This guy's got the 4,280, and we're sitting around hemming and hawing and debating. Well, I just don't know. It's like undecided voters in November. You don't know who you're gonna vote for by now. Just piss or get off the pot.
Yeah, like I just think that the way they look at him, they don't look at him any different than most quarterbacks, but he's playing at a very high level, and I think his play does the speaking. But last year, let's be fair, I don't think anybody could expect him to be what Mahomes is or any of those quarterbacks. But if he has a good supporting cast, he's going to be great.
Mahomes wasn't Mahomes last year. He doesn't have all the weaponry he normally has with an aging tight end, Travis Kelce. I was going to call him Travis Swift, but you saw he didn't have the big 50 touchdowns and 10 interception year that he's become accustomed to.
Yeah, because of all the weapons
cyclical things like
this. But
it happens, But Yet and still, they're talking about, well, for Brock to really get it, he needs to have a big year, do it without any weapons and without any protection, and then maybe we can come in and I'll franchise him. I don't want to hear those people, man. They high.
Yeah. Oh, this is a very good question to think of, but I don't think this is going to be a setback. But man, we've been kind of dealt with so many bad draft picks lately. But last year we did pretty well.
Last year was a great draft.
It was a great draft. But from what Chosen One is saying, he kind of makes a good point. So if we're paying these guys contracts, which we're paying Brock for sure, how are we going to be still relevant if we keep messing up another draft? It's just we can't afford that.
Chosen One, you're awesomely on it. We got to have a good draft this year. We can't miss. We can't miss all of these guys. You need, if you got 11, I'd say 66% of this has to be guys that get on the field and contribute and do not miss, particularly the ones through rounds 1 through 4. We got multiple picks and a couple of rounds in there. This is a pivotal draft. This is a make or break draft for Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch, and this regime of the San Francisco.
They gotta take it seriously, man. Like enough of these early pick struggles. Just hit on these guys, man. Get your late rounds also. But like you said, if we can get 66% of those guys to be our starters or contribute, man, that's a win right there. But if we only get half, then that's okay. But still, you still want to get a good caliber draft pick.
Oh yeah. And the draft is hard. If you think about it, every team gets normally 7 picks. 4 of them probably won't make your team.
Yeah.
Usually
with the competition it has, especially the late round guys, like they're not even guaranteed the roster all the time or the undrafted.
Yeah. They don't get reps. They don't get the benefit of the doubt. They don't have the advantage of having, film of them in an NFL game. So, a couple of mistakes and they're gone. So we really got to hit. We got to hit and hit well on this draft.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. It's just we did good last year. Now, if we can do it again, this can put us back on top of what we used to be.
We'll be right in line. I'm not overly scared of the Los Angeles Rams, who had a decent year last year. They beat us twice.
Because of our injuries, unfortunately. I don't want to make excuses, but poor coaching also. Like, come on, Sorensen. They made Sorensen look like George Seifert as the coach out there.
Yeah, but with them being the top of the class of our division, they're kind of the aim right now. And, I got to own that. Of course, they would never give us the same satisfaction of objectivity, but I know football, and right now, y'all got it,
they're the top of their
world
game.
but to say we're it's not even close. We can't beat them. We were in both games and had a lead in one of them and messed up at the end. It's definitely okay and not beyond the pale to become conference champs again, then go into the playoffs and whole new season starts. And if you got youth and exuberance, we can make it happen. We got experience with some of the core guys that we still got here. It can happen.
Especially with all that. Like, it's not like we're far off with them anyways. I mean, look at how we were competing. Even with Sorensen as our DC, man, they made him look like a top defense in that game.
There you go. Sorensen's your DC, and you got Collins, which one was hurt? Collins or Javon Hargrave?
Oh, you mean Malik Collins, right?
Yeah. We had Brendel up in there with Banks getting whooped up front, and dude, we were still in there. We
were still competing with them until the end. But like if it wasn't for Devondre Campbell quitting, I think we would have been in this game either way.
I like our chances. We just got to.
I just think that, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I just don't see what the NFC West as competitive as it used to be, man. It's just not. Like, outside of the Rams, Seattle's kind of been they've been up and coming when it comes to it. But then you look at the Cardinals. How can we take them serious when it comes to second half of the season? They just don't seem like a team that finishes.
They don't. Well, traditionally, they'll peter out, and I know we can win the West. And that's all you got to do. Win your division. You're in the playoffs. Get in the playoffs. Whole new season. It all is about the seed. You win a game or two on the road, and guess what? You're coming back to Santa Clara for the Super Bowl, which will be a home game for you.
Yeah, and we got something to play for with no pressure, so we don't have a lot of pressure this time.
There you go. Because remember, beginning of last season, they projected us the favorites in all 17 games.
Yeah, we were, and we were pretty much the favorite on these games, bro.
Yeah. They said, the 49ers aren't going to lose. I'm like, okay.
The injury luck, the poor coaching, it just started catching on to us. So it's like, even some of the bad draft picks started catching up on us at that point.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Those are your special teams. When you haven't drafted well over a period of time, your depth, your second team and your second teamers and your special teams suffer because you don't have high caliber guys. Not to mention, Kyle just doesn't. I don't even think they practice special teams, dude. If they didn't know the rule in the Super Bowl, you're not practicing. Y'all just say, okay, who's going to be on the kickoff? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 11. Good. Don't worry about it. We'll wait. You can't play football like that, man. You gotta know the rules. You gotta have assignments. Special teams, punt return, kickoff return are plays. They are plays. They are make or break plays, pivotal in a game. They can flip a game, flip the field just as fast and as quick as a hiccup. You got to be able to function, shoot, communicate, and move on out with those free plays that they're giving you. If you can get a punt return, if you can get a turnover, if you can get a kickoff run back, dude, the sky is the limit. You've added 6 free points, and don't miss your extra points. Just don't miss your extra points. And man, most of this game will be like falling off a log.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I think this is pretty much the less pressure for us, but this division just, I don't know. It's not like the NFC East. You don't see it as competitive. Like the NFC North is pretty competitive.
Yeah.
But I feel like a much better, healthy 49ers team, I don't think nobody can match up to us if we're at our full best.
Yes. I'd like being in our division and going at, the incumbent, I'll say, the Rams, much more. It's much more advantageous.
They'll give us a run for our money for sure. They'll definitely give us a run because they are the defending NFC division winners, but they've had success. But Sean McVay knows what it takes to win, of course. But I feel like we had their number and we can still get to them. Like they just haven't beat us at our best. Only the one time they did.
Fair.
Majority of the time, they can't even beat us at our best. It has to be at our worst.
I know. How's that going? I think it's a much more advantageous situation than being in the NFC East, where, man, they're going to be battling up there. It's going to be a rattle. Remember wrestling? A battle royal. You got Jaden Daniels coming back in the Philadelphia Eagles in the same conference, in the same division. Not to mention the Dallas Cowboys are just going to be fighting like I don't know what to get back to whatever it is that they still believe. A lot of Cowboy fans believe, oh, we can beat Philadelphia. They ain't nothing to us because they see them 2 times a year and they feel, that's in their division. They're going to be fighting it out over there. Meanwhile, we'll be over here handling our business and we'll let you beat each other up and we'll see y'all in January or February.
Somewhere around there, yeah, we'll definitely will. But I mean, dude. So we'll find out how that plays out. We'll look into the draft and see how it works out. Maybe we'll have a different, like record prediction, all that down the road.
Oh yeah. We'll see how it all plays out. Get the contracts filled, have a good draft, have a solid draft. I've done like 7 or 8 mocks. I know the
I've
players
done too many, man. I lost
identified.
track.
How many mocks have you done?
Dude, I've done dude, it's not like, dude, it's like so much that I even lost so much count. It's mostly on my TikTok videos, but I guess if I'm going by it, probably like 20 of them.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah,
it gets pretty boring for a bit, bro. So I try to just go with the interviews for the last month because I kind of been more consistent with these prospects and getting to know who they are, whether it's a big school or a small school. It's more like that gives me more to do instead of just doing all these mock drafts constantly. Dude, I get tired of that.
Yeah, you do a wonderful job with that too, man. You be bringing the new wave guys, and you get to know a little bit something about them too.
About
I like
them as
I like
person,
that.
get to know them as human beings and see what they fit, and maybe I get to see why they would be fits for the Niners. I mean, I don't think anybody knew who Spencer Burford was until that day we drafted him, but I was probably one of the very few dudes that probably got to know the guy for a little bit.
You did. Yeah, man. You're ahead of the game. You're always ahead of the game. TarrerDome, what do you have planned for the viewers between now and the draft? More shows and just engaging targets as they appear. Grandizer 12 with who is that? What kind of avatar is that? I'm not up on my anime as much as I should
One
be.
of the enemies. I think it's kind of like one of those Transformers or maybe one of the something.
Okay. Yeah, just more of the same, Grandizer. And somebody's always making news. When it's breaking news, TarrerDome's going to be on there talking about finally the Brock Purdy contract. That's the breaking news I want to do.
We're gonna take that out the way too. So
just
I'm still gonna do some
content videos. My guy.
Yeah, I'm still gonna do some videos from TikTok, but mostly on here because right now I'm getting consistent prospects, so I'm gonna get more of those people coming in. So,
oh yeah, you're busy for the next 2. This is your busy season, dude. This is your you're like the mall at Christmas now.
Yeah, but for your viewers, for your followers, if they want to see Josh Morgan on April 11, you guys are more than free to ask him some questions because we're gonna talk some football because I was on a conversation with him for a little bit, and then we got to set up the schedule and all that stuff, and then supposed to have some more coming up. The kid from California. He's going to be on a Niners local pro day, but after the pro day, he's going to be on my show on the 10th. Ricky Correal, he's a D tackle from California. He's from my neck of the woods city of Fresno, so he's a in the house. Big D tackle, man. 6'4", 325.
Oh,
more of a run stopper.
There it is.
Central High standout, bro. Like they won a championship.
And he's got to be. I got my eye on a linebacker from Cal, Mr. Teddy
Buchanan, right?
Looks a lot like Fred Warner. I mean,
he kind of does.
He takes his helmet off. If him and Fred Warner stand beside each other, they're gonna be. Which one of you guys kicked me? They look a lot and they play a lot alike. They fly around a lot alike. He
does everything.
It gets in between blocks. He can force the edge. He's a good sideline to sideline guy. I really like this guy.
I think he'd be there in day 3 or maybe 3rd round. I don't know. The earliest maybe a late 3rd round, but I don't know. He could be moving.
I got him around 5th or 6th. That in my mocks. That's where he might be better than what falls to him. Yeah.
Oh, well, as far as looking forward to WrestleMania, I might have to look into it in a few weeks for sure. I definitely love watching wrestling. I want to see Jey Uso finally win something, but we'll see, man.
Still a big wrestling man. I love it. I was a diehard Ric Flair and the Four Horsemen guy back in the day. That's my dude. I wear the sunglasses like Slick Rick. Woo!
I was more like a Macho Man.
Yeah, Macho Man Randy Savage. Let me tell you something, Mean G. Yeah, that's my guy.
That guy had the catch. He had the strong voice, man. He always like even the Slim Jim commercial was pretty cool.
Yeah, man, you got to have character, and Macho was not missing out on character.
Yeah, dude. But we're having It's definitely a lot of fun, man. We'll definitely catch up pretty soon, man. But for those other people, man, tell them where they can find your social media platform, man. We're gonna have to catch up soon.
Check me out on TarrerDome. I am up on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm a morning guy because I work all night and I come in. It's the evening for me. So check me out at 10 o'clock Eastern. It's pretty early for you guys. I do one show at noon Eastern, which backs it up to 9 o'clock for y'all on the West Coast, like Pat Summerall used to say. I'm on sometimes with my main man Wolfie. Me and Wolfie been doing work for the last about 3 weeks. We're having some pretty good shows. But I open it up, man. We talk about films, we talk about football, we talk about faith, and we talk about fun. That's the TarrerDome. Check me out.
Oh yeah, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm probably gonna get some. I'm gonna get some more consistent interviews, get some other fans here and there, and pretty much do what I do. Get these interviews out the way, and wait for the draft reaction. Wait for the Brock Purdy news to kick in. Wait for the George Kittle news to kick in. Maybe the Juwan Jennings contract will come. We'll see.
We're gonna do some things. It's getting busy, y'all. No days off.
Yeah, no days off. I mean, I work the graveyard, but I still come out. I come out like the Undertaker off the shift, man. I come out and keep rolling.
I like that.
Yeah. Well, since everybody's talking about NBA, I hope my Lakers beat them Warriors, man.
And I'm a Laker too, so hey, Warriors, y'all get ready to, sorry.
Sorry, man. It's late show, man.
Show hated for you, boy. I got Luka now, boy. I'm acting up.
I like that Luka trade, man. So what's your thoughts of that trade, man? That just caught me by surprise.
That was Christmas came early. I didn't have any idea they were going to trade. It's like they call you say, man, what do you give me for Luka? What do you give me for Luka? I'll take that right now. What do you want? And he's an incredible player, man. All NBA last 5 years, every year he's been in, and you see it, man. This kid, he's got boogie. He's got moves. The guy's got a pure shot. He's what you're looking for, man. And he takes a level and a degree off of LeBron. LeBron seems even freer. He seems even lighter. And now Austin Reeves can do his thing a little bit, man. Hey, we're in quiet as kept. We're in third place right now in the West. That's gonna shake out. And hey, look for them Lakers, man. Respect to the Warriors. I see y'all getting down, but hey, me and
TarrerDome are pretty much the other way around, man.
We in this thing.
I see why me and you got the same common ground, bro. We're the Lake brothers, bro.
Yeah, man, the Lake Show. I've been a Laker since Magic Johnson was wearing the small shorts. Way before y'all even knew, before they had big shorts. They called them grape smugglers back then.
Yeah, the Kobe eras were the best years, man. I'm gonna be honest, man. That's what made me follow the team from the get-go.
Camelot, 3 people.
Never looked back since, man. Ever since the Kobe era was something I got into. My brother was a Bulls fan. Yeah, my brother was like the crazy part is my brother was a Braves fan talking massive crap about the Giants.
Really?
Yeah.
That's hard there. That's hard. And he lived out there in Fresno and he was a Braves fan?
No, he lived in California, but he liked the Braves. I don't know why he ever liked the Braves.
Okay. Well, I grew up watching the Braves a long time ago. They were the only team that used to come on WTBS, and they were sorry back then. It was a guy named Dale Murphy and Skip Carey used to do the games, and the Atlanta Braves, their farm team was in Richmond, where I'm from. And I used to see all the great stars come through. I saw Dion play in AAA, Chipper Jones, the Smoltz, Madden, and when they just Glavin, when they all got good, man, Maddox and them, and would transition up to Atlanta, I just kind of stuck with them because we saw them in AAA ball.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's where I like them.
Yeah. Hey, man, but let's call it a day, bro. We'll definitely catch up soon. And for everybody else, thank you guys for tuning in.